CCTV footage from Eagle petrol station has cast fresh doubt on the circumstances surrounding the horrific death of former cabinet minister and Lugari MP Cyrus Jirongo. Contrary to claims by Climax bus driver that Jirongo was overtaking vehicles in a heavy 2 a.m. traffic, moments before the head-on collision, the footage shows there was no traffic at all and that Jirongo was not overtaking. Meanwhile, detectives from the DCI who had pointed to Park Place Hotel as the last location Jirongo visited that night are facing new contradictions. The hotel's management, together with former Vihiga Senator George Khaniri, insist the late politician never set foot at the premises that evening. As NTV's Duncan Khaemba reports, the evidence suggests the Climax bus driver may have lied about the accident.
From Wednesday evening, when NTV obtained CCTV footage showing how former cabinet minister and former Lugari member of parliament Cyrus Jirongo met his death, NTV has been attempting to join the dots. From here at Oasis in Karen, what happened in between up to the moment he was involved in that fatal crash? The controversial demise of politician cum businessman Cyrus Jirongo has now presented fresh twists, with the Climax bus driver Tyrus Kamau Githinji expected to return to Naivasha traffic base tomorrow, Monday, December 22nd, for further police action. Few hours after the 2:19 a.m. horrific head-on collision, this is what Githinji eloquently stated.
Wakati aliona upande yake ya kupanda Nairobi magari meshikana, alifanya hesabu overtake hizo gari, na mimi naye nikamuona nikiwa mbali.
Githinji's testimony contradicts footage captured by CCTV cameras obtained from Eagle petrol station. The footage shows how the late Jirongo drove in at 2:18 a.m. and 44 seconds from Nairobi direction and did not drive to the petrol station's filling pumps. Instead, he made a U-turn in 34 seconds and at 2:19 and 19 seconds headed to the exit and turned hastily towards Nairobi, the direction he had come from. And 6 seconds later, at 2:19 and 25 seconds, collided with the Climax bus that was ferociously rolling downhill towards Naivasha, crashed into Cyrus Jirongo, dragging him for some distance, with the Mercedes spinning off the road before the bus eventually stopped. The road remained clear before another vehicle driving towards Nairobi arrived at the scene 1 minute later, slowed down but did not stop. From the CCTV footage, no passenger disembarked to even check on the incident that could have ended their lives, given that the stretch is a black spot. The driver said he was carrying 67 persons that until today, and despite the many questions, none has come out to talk about the incident and their narrow escape. More intriguing is this white Probox vehicle that also drove into Eagle petrol station 29 seconds after Jirongo drove in, raising questions on the coincidence of the two driving from the same direction and entering the filling station at the same time in the wee hours. Immediately the Probox entered, Jirongo exited the station 6 seconds later, zooming back to Nairobi before he crashed, implying he could have entered the petrol station to shake off the Probox that could have been trailing him for a while, possibly from Nairobi. According to security expert George Msamali, it was not a coincidence. Jirongo was desperately attempting to save his life. It was possibly a tiger tail.
Possibly he must have driven out of Nairobi, knowing after getting out of Karen where he was, he must have realized that he's under surveillance. And to shake off the surveilling team, he drove out of Nairobi instead of going to his Gigiri home. And he realized that he's under a tiger trail, And that is why he drove to Naivasha, and he was trying to shake off the pursuers. And that's why he got in, and instead of stopping, he left immediately. And after leaving, the accident occurred.
And the accident scene was a choke point.
Yeah, it brings a lot to question, because that is what the driver told us. And I normally say that a story told is a story altered. We need really to interrogate what the driver was telling us and exactly what happened.
Detectives from DCI are said to be following leads that show from Karen Oasis within Karen Plains, that is close to official deputy president's residence, Jirongo switched to Park Place along Magadi Road before eventually leaving and getting involved in the fatal accident at Karai along Nairobi-Naivasha Highway. However, multiple sources within Park Place say the claim is a decoy. Speaking to NTV, former Vihiga Senator George Haniri has confirmed that whereas they had been waiting for Jirongo to join them for their monthly Park Place goat eating session, which was Haniri's turn to host, the late politician was a no-show despite numerous phone calls. It was until 8:30 p.m. when Haniri and the rest ended the goat eating, and he drove to Karen Oasis, where Jirongo was seated in a meeting with the National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and the restaurant owner Rebman Malala. Haniri, who had driven in with his wife, did not alight from his vehicle, made a U-turn and left for a different joint. Also, as per this NTSA motor vehicle copy of records, vehicle number KCZ350C is registered under Smart Cars Limited and not Cyrus Jirongo. Duncan Haemba, NTV.
Well, leaders from the Orange Democratic Movement are calling for swift investigations to clear uncertainties surrounding the death of the former Lugari Member of Parliament, Cyrus Jirongo. Speaking during a visit to Jirongo's home in Kakamega, senior ODM officials also shifted into political rhetoric, reaffirming their pact with the government under the broad-based agreement. NTV's Laban Shaban with the details.
The family of the former Lugari MP Cyrus Jirongo hosted officials of the Orange Democratic Party in Lumakanda, Kakamega County, within the constituency he once represented in the National Assembly. It was a moment to condole with the family as they remembered the man with whom they had shared the political arena.
Yeye amekuwa ni kigogo kwa siasa ya Kenya nzima, na amekuwa ni kiongozi wa kitaifa kando ya kuwa kiongozi wa jamii ya Waluya.
Pressure is now on the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to answer emerging questions.
Lakini maswali iko, lazima hiyo maswali serikali tusaidie baada ya kufanya uchunguzi wa ndani. Tujue nini ilifanyika. Kwa mfano, ile basi ambayo inaitwa Climax ilikuwa imebeba abiria 65 na ilikuwa inaenda Busia, na hao ni Waluya, si ndio? Na Waluya si wanajua Jirongo? Iko Mluya ajui Jirongo? Sasa hao watu hakuna hata ule mmoja aliona hii maneno.
The unease within the